this video, I'm gonna show you how you can create this funky effect using Photoshop. So let's get started. Hey, what's up guys, Dhruval here, and as you can see, this is the final output. Now for this effect, I will be using this stock photo, and to create this effect, I will start with cutting out the background. So first of all, double click on your background and unlock it. And then I'm gonna select my move tool, hold my shift key, and I'm gonna move it a little bit here in the center, so that looks better. And now we have to cut him out from the background. So for that, go and select your quick selection tool from here, and make your brush a bit bigger. Now use your bracket keys and make a selection. Now after that, you will need to remove your selection from this part. So for that, go and select the minus option and remove it just like that. So it's looking pretty decent, and after that, go and click on your layer mask option. So we have the layer mask. After that, go and create a new blank layer from here and put it under your model. This will be the background. So for that, select your paint bucket tool, and make sure it's a white color and fill it. After that, double click on your background layer and select gradient overlay. In the gradient, first thing you do, you select your black and white gradient, but instead of this black color, you go and select your grayish tone, closer to black. See, now that seems better. Hit OK and again OK. Change the style to radial and reverse it so it's outside. Now put it a bit here and increase your size until you get the look that you like. So this is pretty good. I want light to be here, and then decrease the opacity until it starts to blend better. So this is looking good, and hit OK. Background is done, and it's time to create the shadow. So for that, select your model layer and make a copy by pressing Ctrl J. After that, select your layer mask here, right click and select apply layer mask. Then go to image, adjustment, hue saturation, and turn down the lightness to -100. Hit OK. Then press Ctrl T, right click, select flip vertical. So it's like that, and then put it here. Match the arm with arm. Now it doesn't look very good because the direction is wrong. So for that, hold on your control key and drag this corner all the way here. And then you hold on your another control key and drag this corner a little bit here, like that. Looks pretty good. And then go and confirm it. Now the shadow is really sharp and unbalanced, so I'm gonna go and match it a little bit proper here and put it under your model. See, right here. Now you can manage it easier. Then go to filter, blur, and select Gaussian blur. And Gaussian blur, don't apply too much. I think this 10 pixel looks good. Hit OK. Then reduce the opacity to like 40-50%. And now if you zoom out, looks much better. After that, go and create a new blank layer from here. Select your brush tool and make sure that the hardness is 0%, and your color is black here. Zoom in here and fill in the color here, like this, so you have enough black space near his hand. Looks pretty good. A little bit here. Zoom out, then go and change the opacity to somewhere around like 30% or something like that. Yeah, that looks better. Now if you zoom in, you can see the edges of the hand is not very smooth. So for that, select your layer mask, right click and select refine mask. Now in the refine mask, go and shift edge a little bit in the minus side, -12, increase your feather, and then increase your contrast all the way here. Looks pretty good. You can decrease the feather a bit, pretty good, and decrease the edges a little bit. Damn good. Let's look at the original, and afterwards, perfect. Hit OK. Now zoom out. Then go and create a new adjustment layer and select curves. Now in the curves, go and turn on your clipping mask and then go and increase your brightness, so it will only affect the model. So I think this bright is more than enough, and close it. So the setup is ready, and now we can start adding in the shapes. So to do that, select your shape tool from here right click and select custom shape tool. Now in the custom shape tool, at first you won't have all these shapes, so for that click on this little icon and select all, and you will find all these shapes. They are default in Photoshop. So first one I would like to use is artistic 7, so click on that. Now make sure all of your shapes that are under your model. So what do we do? Here's the model, right? So I'm gonna go and create a new blank layer exactly under him, and then I'm gonna go and draw my shape somewhere like this. Looks pretty cool. Now I wanna change the color, so for that I'm gonna double click on the thumbnail and I'm gonna go and change it to white and hit OK. Select your move tool and move it here. Now I'm gonna right click and select rasterize. Then I'm gonna go and change the blend mode to soft light, so it mixes with background better. After that, make sure you have selected your shape layer, press Ctrl T, right click and select warp. Now you can drag it just like the way you want. So I'm gonna try to create that a little bit of impact look near his hand, and I'm gonna squish it a little bit from here and there. After that, go and confirm it. Now it looks good, but we can blend it better. So for that, go and select your eraser tool from here. And in the eraser, make sure here that your hardness is 0%. And make sure it's this big. And start erasing it from the edges so it blends better and looks nicer. So this is looking pretty damn good. Now using the same method, I will apply a lot of different shapes. And if you want to know which shape I'm using, the name will be on the screen. So help yourself. So most of the background shapes are done, and after that you select your first shape that you just created, you hold your shift key and select your final shape, shape 5. Then you press Ctrl G. So they're in a single group and easier to manage. Now here comes one important part. I'm gonna go and select my shape tool just like this, and I'm gonna go to my shapes, and then I'm gonna go and select the shape called Grime 7, and after that I'm gonna go and draw it. Now normally I suggest that you hold your shift key so you can draw it in proportion, but this time don't hold the shift key and make it squishy a little bit like this, you know. Perfect, awesome. Then you double click on your thumbnail here exactly, right? Then you go and change the color of it to something orangish. Looks pretty good. Hit OK. Then I'm gonna go and move it exactly here. Now as you can see, this is under my model layer, just to be careful. Then I'm gonna go and change its blending mode to soft light. After that, when you're happy with your shape, you can right click and select rasterize. Now as you can see, it looks pretty cool. And for more impact, you can go change it to overlay. Looks pretty good, and you can move it a little bit here. And in my shape, I'm gonna go and change the opacity of this one so it looks less annoying. Good, perfect. So at this moment, background shapes are done, and there is one shape that I'm going to put on the top. So for that, go and select your shape tool, go to the shapes, and here I'm going to select the shape called artistic 1. So then go and create a new blank layer on top of that, and I'm going to go and draw it. So this looks pretty good. Then double click and select white color, hit OK, right click and select rasterize. So we have the shape. After that, press Ctrl T and rotate it so it is only around his leg, like this, and confirm it. Now it's way too much, so select your eraser and remove the unnecessary parts. Now when you're going to remove it from his leg here, don't remove it all the way, just keep some of the parts here and there, so it gives it a really cool look, nothing else. Then you can change the opacity a little bit if you like. So I think 95 looks better. So all the shape part is done, and now we can start creating the lighting. So for that, I'm gonna go and create a new blank layer from here, and I'm gonna rename it to big lights. Pretty cool. Then select your brush tool and make sure you have selected regular round brush, 0% hardness. Then I'm gonna go and make it bigger. This big looks good. So first color I want to try is somewhere around red. This looks pretty good. Hit OK and do a click. Then I'm gonna go and change my color to somewhere around blue. Pretty good, and click. Then this time I'm gonna go and change it to somewhere orange. But for the orange, I'm gonna make it smaller because I also want to see his face properly. So I think this big is good. Then go and change its blending mode to screen. So you have pretty good lighting, but we can make it even better. So what do? You press Ctrl J, so you have a copy of it, right? Then you go to filter, blur, and you go and select motion blur. In the motion blur, his leg is this way, right? So you also use the same angle, and my distance is 719, but you can use it as big as you want. So now if I turn it on and off, see, it looks much better. And you can just go again, filter, and select the same blur again, so it's a little bit more softer. And to make it more impactful, you can make another copy of it, press Ctrl J, and it's more impactful. So big lights are done. Now we can create the smaller lights. So for that, create a new blank layer from here, and I'm gonna name it small lights. Now for the smaller lights, go and change your color to white, just like that. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit, and then I will make it a bit smaller, my brush like this. And then I will do a click, make it a bit more smaller, click, a little bit more smaller, click, a little bit more, click, and a little bit more, click. So we have really cool lighting effect like that. Then make a copy of it, press Ctrl J, select your move tool and move them a little bit here. Press Ctrl T, so now you can rotate it however you want. And then I'm gonna move them here like this. Then I'm gonna go and confirm it. Now we have to create some lighting in the environment. So it's basically the same process. You go and create a new blank layer and you name it. Pretty legit name. After that, go and select your brush tool from here. White color, simple as that. And do a dot. Make it a bit bigger dot, a little bit bigger dot, and make it scattery here and there like that. Take your time and be patient. Like that. And if you don't like the dot, simply go and erase it. See, pretty cool. Then after that, you double click on your layer, right, the dot layer, and then you select outer glow. Where is it? Here. And the outer glow, first of all, I'm gonna go and increase the size a little, and then I'm gonna go and change its color to somewhere around blue. So the blue looks cool. Then hit OK, and now you can increase the size as much as you like. See, amazing. Now I'm gonna make another copy of it. So I'm gonna go and press Ctrl J, select these dots and then put them here. And then I will press Ctrl T and rotate them a little bit so they don't look repetitive, right? Then I'm gonna go and confirm it. So now the effect is done, and now we can start doing the polishing. So by polishing, first thing I would like to do is go to my gradient overlay, and in the gradient I will increase the size a little bit because it's way too dark. Now it seems better. And in the opacity a little less or higher. Yeah, that looks good. Hit OK. After that, I want to manage my shapes a little bit. So I will start with the one, and let's move it a little bit on the top so we can see the orange splatter better. And here we have the orange splatter, right? So I'm gonna make it a bit bigger. Hold my Shift Alt and make it slightly bigger like that. Confirm it and put it a little bit here. Now it looks better. Then I'm gonna go to my curves, the highlight, and I'm gonna make it a little bit more brighter because it's a bit more darker. So more brightness. Yeah, looks pretty cool. And close it. After that, I would like to go to my shadow layer and decrease the opacity a little bit more because it seems more harsh. Select my eraser and erase the border a little bit so it's more soft. Looks better. So that's it. And this is the final output. I really hope that you guys learned something from this video, and it is 100% done inside Photoshop, no extra plugins or brushes or anything. So I really hope that you guys learned something from this video, and if you did, hit that like button and share this video with your friends. And if you have any kind of questions or suggestions, feel free to ask me in comment section below. Till then, goodbye, take care, and have some fun with Photoshop.